and we're off to the races. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. It's all Fish and Chips, the podcast. This is episode 87 of the podcast. 87, Bubby, only 13 away from the big disappointment. That's what we're going to start calling episode 100, the big disappointment.
Hey, but then we get to be on the morning show with Al Roker.
Oh, yeah, he's going to wish us a happy birthday anniversary.
Right.
Well, he's ruined the surprise, but don't worry, folks. He's got his Kansas City Chiefs gear back on. He's got one more week of podcast ad reads that he's got to do. We'll just save that for later. And he's happy that spring's coming. It's Bubby.
Very much. Bring it on.
And then next to Bubby, apparently not wearing green on this fine St. Patty's Day. So she's looking for a pension. If you see her today, get up in there and get her a pinch. It's Amanda.
If you pinch me, you're going to have something.
You're going to have something.
Sounds like a challenge.
It's probably,
I don't think you're going to like it.
It's going to be cirrhosis of the liver, but you're going to have it.
You're going to feel a pinch.
You're going to feel a pinch. And your kidney. It's St. Patty's Day out there. They've dyed the river green
in Chicago,
and in Springfield as well. Not on purpose. It was just a chemical spill off the highway.
It's all the algae.
The weather is warming up again, but then it's going to maybe snow on Wednesday. So, welcome to Missouri. It's a weather and traffic on the 8s. It's going to be warm tomorrow, but then snowing.
Misery.
Now, we're just going to get to it, Bubby. We're going to get to it. The big topic for this week. We finally did it.
The big top?
The big top. 3 years in the making. We went to the circus, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Fish and Chips went to the circus. Not only did we go to the circus, but we took Parker with us.
Yeah, I apologize.
Okay. So Carton Glow Circus was the circus that was here in town. I'm going to just move this microphone a little closer to my face. And it was they performed down there at the Shrine Mosque here in Springfield. And Bubby got excited and wrangled me and Amanda up, and we went down to the circus. We took Parker. Now, Bubby, I'm going to start right off the bat here. I'm a little disappointed in the boy because I offered that boy the world. I said, you want to ride a camel? You want to ride an elephant? You want your face painted? You want some cotton candy? What do you want? What do you want, boy? And he said, nothing. I got no, he didn't want to do nothing. He didn't want to meet Bluey. He didn't want to pet a snake. He didn't want to ride a tiny train in a circle.
No. Out in public, he's kind of shy.
Okay. Not what I have seen, because he goes and molests people and touches their bike helmets.
Well, backpacks.
Backpacks and helmets.
Backpacks. Yeah. If you'd worn a backpack.
He'd have got me?
He'd been all over you, yeah.
Okay. So my plan had been to sugar that boy up as best I could, get him on an elephant, and then send him home with Bubby, so he wouldn't sleep for like 2 days. But Parker wanted no part of my shenanigans.
And of course,
it's fine. He can do whatever he wants.
And of course, he knows you, so he was comfortable.
Yeah.
And then he was really happy to meet Miss Amanda.
Oh, was he now?
He was.
He didn't even say hi to me.
But he
did.
But it was memorable.
He knows of you. And
he knows of your painting, at least.
He knows your painting.
Yeah.
Every night he goes, Mandarin's paint.
Dang it, Bubby. 4 minutes and 28 seconds.
Sorry.
We're barely into the podcast.
Fix it. Well, that's what he said.
Keep talking. I got to write it down.
And so he was happy to meet you.
Yeah.
He really was.
That's good.
Well, there you go. All right.
Out of all the things, I was disappointed by a lot of things at that circus.
Oh, we're going to get into it.
Parker was not one of them.
We're gonna get into it. So, Shrine Mosque here in Springfield is not what I would call the nicest venue in town, but it is probably the oldest venue in town. It is the Shrine Mosque, populated by too many Shriners, and it's seen some wear and tear, but
somehow big enough for a 3-ring circus.
Somehow big enough, kind of for a 3-ring circus,
with a stage.
A small 3-ring circus with a stage. So we go. We're going to go down to the 7:00 circus on a Saturday. I figured it was going to be way more people than that, but there's a bunch of people there. But so me and Bubby, we're all going to meet up at around 6:30. I get out of the car, start walking, immediately run into Bubby. Not 2 seconds out of my car, here's Bubby, just waiting on me. So I pick him up and Parker, and we start walking to the Shrine Circus. Bubby's on one side of the road. I'm on the other side of the road. Yep. We get to the stoplight, and Parker immediately dashes into the street directly in front of a car.
Wow.
As it's turning, yes.
Yeah, as it's turning into him. And they got to cut it up short. And Parker, I don't think, noticed the car.
No.
And Bubby, of course, is crossing the street as well and does nothing to save his child from that car. He just goes... and just keeps walking. So they make it onto my side. Now, normally you would go in the front door of the mosque, at the Shrine Mosque, but not for the circus. You don't.
Nope.
They go. You people go around back. You don't get to use the front doors. No. So we got to hike it all the way around to the back of
passing all the trucks and trailers.
They got them open. I am surprised. Nobody climbed in one of those trucks to see what was going on.
Surprised Parker didn't run inside.
But they just had them wide open. You could just go in there and root around if you wanted to. We go in the back and we go inside, and there's immediately too many Shriner clowns. Immediately too many Shriner clowns. And so Bubby and I go up to get our tickets because we have not pre-purchased tickets because why would we?
No.
And I go up there first. I say, I'd like a ticket. And she goes, okay. It'll be $28, $26, whatever it was. And I pay with my phone, beep. And then she hands me a coupon. She goes, you can get anybody else in for free with this coupon. And I go, okay. And I just turn around and hand it to Bubby. And he goes, okay. And hands it back to the lady.
Well, I hand it to Parker.
Okay.
Because Parker uses that to get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think anybody could have used it. I don't think that lady cared even a little bit.
Nah.
Now, Amanda, she went a different route here. And Amanda, what did you do when you got up there near the ticket lady?
Well, I don't know what happened, but I was kind of in a mass of people, and I guess they already had their tickets, so I was just following these people because it's not really clearly marked.
No.
Like you go through this maze to kind of get in.
Yeah,
and
a bunch of pipe of drape is all they got.
And people trying to sell you things as you're like walking in, like coloring books and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. And so we're just following the people in front of me. And I guess they already had their tickets because they just like made some turns, kept going, and they just kept going. And then at some point I turned around and I was like, I think I missed where I'm supposed to get tickets. And so I sent you a text message and I was like, where do I get tickets? And
I said the back of the Shrine Mosque in the door, which is where we got tickets.
And so I turned around and I've like walked past all these people and I was like, yep, totally like bypassed all of this. And so I could have gotten into the circus for free.
Oh, you did get in the circus for free. And
then I went back out and then paid to come back in.
Right. Yeah, because we paid, and then there's a lady like right there, and she goes, ticket, and we hand her a ticket, and then we go on. Amanda just scooted right past all that. Should have just kept on.
Yeah. And then you guys were hassled by the circus lady that is also a
I got a picture of this.
A realtor.
I went back during intermission to get a picture of her little thingy here. Let me just bust this out for you. So this is a circus performer lady. Mm-hmm. She is in the circus doing circus things. She's an acrobat, I believe. I gotta find my pictures here real quick.
But you guys were bothered by her, and I walked by myself, like solo. No one in front or behind me walked past her, and she didn't even look at me.
She judged you. She went, she ain't gonna buy no house.
Or she's like, she already has 5 houses.
Right.
She's not going to buy another.
I'm gonna shout her out. Her name is Michelle, spelled M-Y-C-H-E-L-L-E. Michelle Omar. And she is a circus performer realtor. That is the full title. Circus performer realtor. Free buyer consultations, free home evaluations. She hablos Espanol and falos Portuguese as well. So she is multilingual. And she's got this little flyer that she had up on the doors and stuff in the thing. Then ballsy. Here comes Microblading by Autumn, who had a business card, and she just stuck her shit right on top of that other poster with some tape. Like, bam! You know what? I'm also in this business. And so she's got her little QR code and whatever, and she just taped it to this lady's flyer. Ballsy move.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you want to check her out, her email, I'm not going to shout her out. Just you could find her. She's on the internet.
And she is local.
Yes, she is a local. Well, the Carny Circus is local. They're just up the road.
Right.
So the Carny Circus is literally our local circus because they got a farm just off of the highway, and you drive by it, and you'll see all the farcus, all the
ferns,
all the circus vehicles parked outside, and then like their names on the building and everything like that. I don't know where they keep the animals or whatnot, but you can see all the vehicles and the I think you can see like the human cannonball machine and all that stuff too, which we'll get to. So me and Bubby go in, get past the lady accosting us to buy a house. She didn't actually accost us. She was accosting some other people.
Talking to some other people. Yep.
But we listened in as we went by. And then we immediately run into snow cones and popcorn. And Bubby and I both got tricked.
Oh, yes.
We were like, oh, snow cones. And so Bubby and I just roll over to snow cones. And then Parker wants some popcorn. So Bubby gets him some popcorns. Bubby, I'm going to say, spent $300 on food in the course of the evening. He just kept waving people over as we went.
Circus not cheap.
Circus not cheap, especially if you're eating there.
That was my dinner.
Okay.
Popcorn.
You had popcorn. You had a snow cone, 2 lemonades. That was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
$300.
$300 plus the ticket. So we get in and we get to
plus parking.
Plus park. I didn't pay for parking. I parked a little further away, and I feel good about myself on that one. Because it was not that much further away than where you parked.
Except it was raining when we got out. So
yeah.
I was glad I parked close.
Okay. Amanda also paying for parking.
Yeah.
So the circus, what I'm saying here, is going to get their money.
Oh, yeah.
So we go in and they say, you can sit over here to the left. You can sit over here to the right. You people did not buy the nice tickets, so you can't sit in the middle. And we're like, fine, we'll sit to the left. So we sit down. And then Amanda, not too far behind us, comes in and joins us up there in our lovely seats. Now, let's set the stage. Before the circus begins, they've got the 3 rings filled up with, you can ride a camel if you want.
Yep.
You can ride elephants if you want.
Yep.
You can get your face painted. You can ride the little train.
Get your picture taken.
Picture taken with Bluey, or apparently a snake, which we learned later on.
Snake lady, yeah.
I think that was all the things you could do. There might have been some more stuff, but that's what we saw. Amanda, how'd that elephant and camel ride sit with you over there?
I wanted to leave and ask for my money back.
The elephant, one of the elephants, especially the lady, the girl elephant.
Betty.
Is that her real name, or did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you look this up?
No, they called her Betty.
Oh, okay. Betty the elephant, who has an exceptionally long trunk. Like, it is longer than most elephant.
I think it's just because she hangs her head really low and drags it on the ground because she's sad.
Yeah, she did not look like... She either looked like she was sad or looked like she was just sleeping. Like, this again. And just took a nap in the middle of that. And then the male elephant, he didn't seem as sad as that one.
Yeah.
The camels didn't seem to care one bit, one way or the other. These were the single humpers, the one humpers that you can ride on. And they had some kids they put on that elephant who were not contained in the little elephant cage holder inner. When they went around, like, those kids could have just whipped right under that elephant had they shifted left or right even a little bit.
Yeah.
One kid dropped his light up toy there as well, which we're gonna get to those here in a second. But so you could have done all that stuff. Parker wanted no part of none of that. Didn't want to ride an elephant, not a camel, not a nothing. That's fine. So they get that done, and they say, okay, we're gonna start the circus. Okay, the circus starts at 7:00. They say, we're gonna start the circus. 22 minutes go by from the time we're gonna start the circus to we're actually starting the circus goes by. During this time, they clear out the elephants, they clear out the camels, they clear out Bluey and all his shenanigans, and the clowns come in. Bubby, describe the clowns for me.
they're not actual circus clowns. They're the Shriners dressed
Shriner
as clowns.
So non-collegiate clowns.
Non-official.
Not official. You're
Don't-
not an official clown.
Nah.
You are a pretend clown.
But they had an act.
Oh boy, did they have an act. So they spent a great deal of time setting up 4 little stands to make a boxing ring. Like an inordinate amount of time they spent setting up those 4 little things.
Had rope. Yeah.
Had rope. It was all pre-tied. It was all there. All you had to do is go out there, boop, 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 set up the 4 things.
Right.
You're off to the races. Nope, not them. They're going to take a while. Now, Amanda, she named one of the clowns. That was the Hulk Hogan clown.
That's what he would look like.
He did look like Hulk Hogan, except with orange hair, not blonde hair. But it was basically the same haircut. And then there was Big Giant Clown who sang the national anthem. Mm-hmm. Then like Cop Clown. They had a Canadian mounted clown who I was surprised was not assaulted at some point during this circus. And they had a little show they put on, a little skit in the boxing ring there that was all to track. Pre-recorded. Now, Bubby, what did you immediately notice about the pre-recording?
I'm not sure. It was awful. I mean,
It's the pauses is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, there's so many pauses. And
So they put in time for the laughs. So when they did the bit, then there was a big pause so the kids could all laugh. And then they would do the next bit, but nobody was laughing. So then it was just a lot of standing around waiting on the clowns to do the next
to start
thing.
talking again.
To start talking again. But they weren't even talking. It was just
Right.
pre-recorded. And they were
Lip sync.
lip syncing-ish along with it. That went on for a while. Amanda, where are you putting that on the scale of how the circus went?
The clown thing?
The clown thing.
I don't think it was part of the circus.
Oh, that was extra?
I think that was bonus.
Oh, shenanigans.
I think that was pre-show.
Bobby and I, by the way, were accosted by 2 clowns coming in.
Cowboy clown.
Cowboy clown and Silver Pimp clown. Also, because he wanted me to buy him a snow cone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember him now.
Okay, so they get done. They finally drag them off. No, first we do the national anthem. We all have to stand up for the national anthem. They don't have a flag. They just got a video of it. And that clown starts off, and the first 4 notes he comes out with are not the national anthem. And I went, oh boy, we're in trouble. But he swerved it back on lane and got through the national anthem.
He's actually a good singer.
Yeah, he was a good singer, but he started out a little rough, but he was good. He got through it.
Yeah.
And then either before or after that, they played a video. From which band, Bobby? Foreigner, or at least 2 members of Foreigner, which is I think all that got left. And it was all for the Shriners, and it was a whole big long video for the Shriners, and it took forever as well. And it was kind of a downer to start the circus, but then we're going to start the circus. So then we're getting out there, and they're finally going to start the actual circus, and that place technically goes nuts. Lasers start shooting, lights start shooting, mirror balls start going, smoke goes off. It's a production they got going at this point.
Yeah.
Now the whole time they're hawking these light up toys because it's the glow circus, right?
Everywhere.
So everybody's in neon clothing in the circus, and then they want you to buy all these glow toys, and those glow toys start at $15 and go up to like $26, and they are cheap plastic things that spin and flashlights.
Yep.
So they start the circus off, and all the people come out, and we get the ballerina comes out first, right? Is this the ballerina comes out first? And then she gets interrupted, and then the motorcycle guy comes out, and then eventually everybody...
Because aliens invaded.
Oh, yeah. And at some point, aliens invaded. I'm not sure what happened there, but yes.
There was a video when the ballerina was dancing.
But it was obviously a stolen video that they just, stuck the Carden logo over top of because it was not the same as any of the rest of the video. It was just Blump, Carden Circus on top of that as well. So all the aliens came out, all the glow people came out, and we had a little glow thing at the beginning, and
lots of dancing.
Lots of dancing, and then we're finally going to actually get to circus acts. So the first circus act they bring out is that big old wheel of death. That's the big orange one where he walked on the inside and he walked on top of it.
That was pretty cool.
So that was pretty good.
It's the Wheel of Destiny.
The Wheel of Destiny.
That's what it was called. That's what it said on the thing.
That's why we got Amanda here
yeah.
fact checking, because I did not remember that it was called.
Because they don't say anything's of death anymore. So they've changed all of those things.
I want to be scared though. That's what I want. I want the Wheel of Death. Oh, that dude might die.
I don't think the word death is adding
Fun to
too
the circus.
too much to it either.
Hey kids, come to see the Death Circus.
You're watching
Anxiety.
somebody like fling all around on the thing. So
Right. Well,
you
he
know
can't-
the death is
He can't
involved.
pretend like he was going to fall off it, but
Yeah.
as someone who has watched Circus X a bunch, he's not falling off that thing. But he gets to the top. He's like, whoa, 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 and all the kids go, oh, but no. So he spins it around. He's on the inside of the wheel. He's on the outside of the wheel. He goes backwards. He goes blindfolded. He jumps a rope. If you've ever seen the Wheel of Destiny, you've seen the Wheel of Destiny. That's the bit they got. This was a one holer. Sometimes they got two holers where it's two people on the Wheel of
Right.
Destiny, but this has only got a one holer.
Yeah.
Probably because that building ain't big enough.
It's
for
not that big.
You ain't big enough for a two holer around here.
Just one.
So, the Wheel of Destiny happens. The Wheel of Destiny happens first, and then the crazy. Okay, at some point, people in tubes came out, and I got real uncomfortable.
That was
Rollabola.
No,
no,
not
that was
rollable.
during
Oh, no.
that was during the beginning with
Okay.
the aliens and stuff.
Okay,
But
During the
they had the wheel set up during that time.
okay. So I think I took pictures of the
Yeah.
wheel setting up, and then they came out to do the glow thing. But
Yeah.
they had these people. They were like Bubby. You remember Mom and Shantz? Now I'm going back old school here. He just flexed. He just flexed his fist at me, like he was gonna punch me because I brought
No.
up Mom and Shantz.
No, my hand's going to sleep.
All right. The only reason I know who Mom and Shantz is because they were on the Muppet Show back in the day, and I watched every single Muppet Show like 50 times.
No.
So they were people who did weird stuff like the two people. They had also another one where they had like they came out and some of the people had eyes, but they were rolls of toilet paper, so they could.
Oh,
Like,
blah, blah. And then
Yeah.
the aliens. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
okay, so anyway, these two people reminded me of that, and I got real uncomfortable for some reason seeing the two people. I did not like them. But good news, they were all the way on the other side. But
And I loved them.
yeah, Amanda loved the two people, but they like made me like there's something in my childhood that's gonna flash back here in a couple weeks, so I'm gonna remember why that made me upset. But I was molested by one of those at some point or something. I don't know, but I did not like them.
Back when I did audio for Cirque, they were in the act. They were
The two people were
in the Rollabola act. Yeah.
okay. So I didn't get. I wasn't taking pictures at the beginning. I kind of. So I might miss some things here.
That's okay. That nobody will know.
Okay, but if there's something you want to talk about though, jump in.
No.
So then come the camels. The camel act comes out first. This is first of the animal act.
That made me uncomfortable.
Right. That's what I want to get at here. So for the beginning, we had the one humper camels. You could ride the one humper camel. For the act, they bring out the two humper camels. But for some reason, they've got a top on them that makes them look like they are some sort of topless erotic dancer.
It's like they took a giant tablecloth, cut 2 holes in it, and just shimmied it over their hump.
Just right over the humps. So the humps are out there jiggling around. A la some sort of stripper experience. But
didn't
it's
like it
just
at all.
camels. Amanda, like I could feel her tense up next to me, like. And I looked over and she goes, "I don't like that at all." And I was like, "Yeah, I can tell." So those are the two humpers, and all the camels do is go in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
In
Running around.
various versions of going in a circle. Sometimes it's 2 by 2. Sometimes it's all 4 of them next to each other. Sometimes there's 2 going one way and 2 going the other way. But all the camels pretty much do is go in a circle.
And the blonde camel did not want to be there.
No, the blonde. So
They're all brown except for one.
There's
Yeah.
4 brown ones and then a blonde one, and that blonde one was either real dumb or just did not give a shit.
Yeah, just like
It's like
I
the
hate you.
The comical
I don't
act
know why I'm here.
of
No, he
camels.
like that camel wrangler dude. He did not want no part of him. He's like, I hate that dude.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna stomp him the first chance I get.
Yeah.
So they do their bunches of circles, and then they off go the camels. So I mean, I'm wondering though, are these the same people? Because they're up in the same general area that also have the camel milk, which we've talked about here on the podcast before. I'm wondering if the performing camels are also milk producing camels. It doesn't come out of the humps. I know that much. But
They missed opportunity. They could have sold some at the Circus.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, $90 a freaking thing for that. As much as I was paying for stuff at the freaking circus. All right, then comes Spider-Man.
Probably my favorite.
Was it really? Is that your favorite part of the circus?
It was the only thing I got a picture of the whole night,
Okay.
other than the four of us.
So we got a picture we're going to post of us at the circus with Parker. They got a Spider-Man, and he's in the suit. He's a little chunky. He's not your average Spider-Man. He's your middle-aged Spider-Man here.
He wasn't overweight.
No, he wasn't overweight, but he was not, like Peter Parker in the movies. He's a heftier Spider-Man.
Right.
There is zero chance that they have paid for the royalty rights to use Spider-Man in that circus. I mean,
I don't know.
no, I'm saying it right now in front of God and everyone. If you're out there, Spider-Man license right holders, if you're out, Sony, I think you have a right to all this. If you're listening to me now, you got to get that card in circus because they're using your Spider-Man without your permissions. But he was pretty good. He
Good act.
tell him about the act, Bubby.
So he was like a one-man act. He was on a bungee cord / rope, where he'd spin and do flips and
He was an aerialist.
yeah, aerialist, exactly. But there was a lot of bungee involved. It made him look like he was flying and jumping and
Right.
falling.
And the first thing he does is the upside down pose with he's got his feet above his head.
as he's going up in the
As he's
air.
going up.
Yeah,
and the
that's-
kids behind us are just going ape shit because
Yeah.
it's Spider-Man. Because apparently one of them kids loves Spider-Man.
Yep.
And they're looking, and by the way, did you catch the name of the kid behind us?
No, why?
The kid behind his name is Bubby, by the way. Because the mom kept calling him Bubby the whole time.
I didn't
and I
know
know you didn't hear it, but every time it made me laugh that she called him Bubby.
Talking to me.
Yeah.
Sit down, shut up, Bubby.
Bubby, it's Spider-Man. Bubby, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Bubby. It's Spider-Man. And I was like, he knows. He's excited about it. He's the only
I had
picture
my
he-
camera out. I was
the only picture he took the whole night. So yeah, he does a bunch of stuff where he gets a lot of tension on the bungees and whoop, shoots up in the air.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So he was pretty good, and he was a one-man act. He was the only. So he was the only one who did like a single act in front of us. The other single acts were on the other side of the or in
the middle.
Yeah, in the middle. But he was the only one that was on our side of the circus.
Yep.
He was pretty good. So unlicensed, but pretty good. So then we also had elephants in the first half. They came out and did their sad thing. It wasn't sad, but the thing that made Amanda sad. And again, boy elephant had a lady riding on him, and girl elephant was just like, meh, I'll just come out and do whatever. I don't really care. Let's just do
They
this.
do spins, and they stood on their barrel, or
Yeah.
what do you call those?
The little little tables or whatever. The typical elephant
Stools.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of them did a headstand. Elephants. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of with Amanda on here. I could watch the whole circus, and you wouldn't have to bring out no animals. And you
Yeah.
can bring out dogs. I'd be all right with you brought out dogs. Because they had that. They used to have that little wind up dog that was pretty good, but they didn't have him this year. So we had that. I'm trying to think what else was in the first half. First half went by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like we got out of the first half, and then so I don't think there's anything really memorable in the first half after that. So then we're going to do intermission. Okay.
Bring camels back out.
They bring the camels back out. They bring the elephants back out. They bring Bluey back out. They bring the train back out. They bring it all back out. And we go through intermission. So I'm going to go use the facilities, and then I'm going to grab a snack to eat. And so I'm walking by, and they got corn dogs. And Bobby, I love a corn dog.
Yeah, you
right?
do.
I'm a sucker for a corn dog anytime I get it. Foot-long corn dog, even better, right? More corn dog, the better. Now,
What'd you pay for that?
$10. I paid $10 for that. How much were them lemonades, by the way?
$10 each.
Okay. Yeah, everything was $10.
Yeah.
The
Popcorn, $10.
the circus sauce coming. I think the snow cones might have been $7.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
But then later on, they brought ones by that had light up cups that we did not get a light up cup.
Those were $10. Yeah.
Those were $10, but we didn't get no light up cups. No. So I get the corn dog. I'm like, all right, corn dog. First of all, no ketchup to go with my corn dog. Okay, so you got to eat that corn dog plain. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I take the first bite of that corn dog and go, this does not have the corn dog taste. It is just, I don't know, Wonder Bread around it that they deep fried. I'm not sure what they did there. And then the hot dog in the middle tastes like a hot dog. But the outside was not corn dog flavored in any way, shape, or form. I'm like,
Maybe they just dip it in the funnel cake batter.
maybe. But if that's the case, I don't want them funnel cakes either because they didn't. This was not good. So then I so the whole thing came in tin foil. Okay, so I start unwrapping it a little bit as I'm eating down, and I realize what they've done. Foot-long corn dog, my ass. Is they've taken 2 regular ass corn dogs, and they took the bottom one, and then they took the top one that had the stick, and they just jammed the stick of the top one into the bottom corn dog and said, "Foot-long corn dog," and I'm like, no, that's 2 corn dogs that you have just made somehow worse. So I got to the bottom. When I finally opened up, I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening here, but sure. And so I ate both corn dogs because I paid $10 and I better eat the damn corn dog, right? But I was very disappointed in the corn dog experience. Snow cone, good.
It was okay.
Lemonades,
They were good.
okay. Lemonade's good.
Super good.
Popcorn's popcorn. You can't really screw up
It was
popcorn.
it was good popcorn though. It was better than average.
Okay, so that's our food review for the circus. At one point, a dude came by with what we thought was pie, but that turned out to be a funnel cake. Yeah. Because bringing by a cherry pie or a pumpkin pie is a little more.
I probably would have bought it if it was a pie. Like a whole pie, okay.
How much is that pie? $39.
$10.
$39. No, it's a whole pie. What kind of pie? Mincemeat. I'm sad now. So we sat through the intermission. Intermission went fairly quick. They didn't take, but the whole time they're hawking those dang lights. And
Balloons.
Oh, and balloons and they come through with the cotton candy and the drink and just everything. They're like they want their money and they're going to get their money. Now, I did offer to buy Parker a light up sword or whatever it is because there was one of them that made an exceptional amount of noise, and I really wanted to send that home with Bubby, but Parker wanted no part of that either. So I really wanted that to last in your life for a couple weeks, and I still thought about buying it, just handing it to the boy, but he didn't want it, so I didn't give it to him. So we start up the second half of the circus, we're kicking it off again, and we start out with the crossbow guy, and so he's going to shoot the crossbow, and his lovely assistant's holding up the stuff, and he's going to shoot the stuff off her head or off her hand or whatever. And the first thing she has is a balloon, and she's got it in her mouth, and she's dead facing that dude. Mm-hmm. And he puts that crossbow up, and she is dead facing that dude with that balloon in her mouth. And I'm like, he is going to tag her in the throat with that balloon. And the last second, she whips her head up, so the balloon is above her, and he poof, shoots it. But I thought for a hot second he was going to shoot her in the chest.
I was like, that was just weird.
Yeah. So then they shoot a flower out of her mouth, and then they put an apple on her head because we got to do the William Tell, right?
Right.
So they shoot the first apple, and I don't think he hit the first apple.
No.
So then they brought out a little stand to put on her head, and then they put the apple on top of that. She did not trust him for this one because she got a little face shield out right at the last second and whipped that bad boy right in front of her face because she was a little concerned that he was going to shoot her in the face.
Yeah.
Or maybe she didn't want to get apple juice in her face.
Or apple juice in her hair. Maybe. So they do that, and then we're going to do the world record setting 19 crossbows at one time. And so then they spend an inordinate amount of time setting up 19 crossbows.
Double checking
it, looking at it. Now, the big one in the middle has 6 crossbows all in this big apparatus, but they're locked in. There's no moving those things. They are 100% locked in. If you got the stand in the right place, it's going to shoot to the thing. But they go through and they line up all the crossbows, so they're going to shoot from one to the other to the other, and finally hit the big one, and it's going to shoot 6 arrows and pop 6 balloons. And they finally get it all set up. That girl gets up there, and that guy, they take out the music, and we're going to do a world record setting thing here. And he goes plunk, and then he just goes plunk, 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 chink, and then whang, all of them go and hit most of the balloons. It didn't hit all of them, but it hit most of the balloons. And that was pretty good, but there's a lot of setup for that payoff.
It was okay. It was
okay.
It was a neat.
You forgot the most important thing they did.
Okay.
They had the 2 red helium-filled balloons tied, and I don't know what he did to release them, but he hit something and they released into the sky.
He shot the strings, so he had 2 balloons hanging. Yes, because this comes in important later. So, I forgot. He was in the first half. I totally forgot that dude. We're going to have to loop back into him in here in a second. So, he's got two balloons like in a line on strings, and he shoots down straight at them at the strings, and he cuts through both strings, and the balloons drift off into the ether.
The ceiling.
Because you can see him just sitting up there. There's two other ones already up there.
40 feet in the air.
40 foot in the air. He's got to shoot those down before they go home at the end of the night. But the thing we forgot to talk about was the clown guy. They had a clown guy from Argentina. And he looked like he had just come from Martha's Vineyard. A night of out there having fun with his friends. And he was going to do a little show. So the first bit he did, he got 3 people out of the audience and had them pretend to play musical instruments. It was basically, for all intent and purpose, not the same family, but a mom, a dad, and a kid. Mm-hmm. They weren't from the same family, but that's what they got out there. So the mom played the piano, and the clown dicked with the dad, pretending to get him to play the drums, but then he couldn't do it right. So then they got the kid up there, and the kid could play the drums right. So then the dad's going to play the guitar. So that's the bit. So then we're going to play some Queen music, and they're going to basically air band to it. But then near the end of that, he gets a communal wig out and puts it on that dude's head. And I'm like, ugh, head lice. This is exactly how you get head lice. So he puts that on there, and the guy does it, and then he takes it off, and he spins it around. And he puts it on the guy's, so it's over his face, and they keep playing, and then they all leave and just leave him out there doing his thing.
Behind a cloud of smoke.
A huge cloud of smoke, yeah. So that bit, fine, whatever. Wasn't great. Wasn't the best thing ever. We're going to loop back around to that guy here in a minute, because he did have another act in the second half, which is where we're at now. So then we got all the aerialists come out. And we got a lady on a chandelier in the middle spinning around, and we got some girls on ropes, and they're spinning around. That whole thing's blacklight. That's pretty good, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, not top notch, but not bad. They did a cool little thing, and then we moved on.
And what was the song they were?
Chandelier.
Was it?
Yeah. Because it's a chandelier, Bubby. They brought out a big ass chandelier, and then they did the song.
I thought that, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So then comes the next animal act, which is the buffaloes. And they bring out 2 buffaloes. The only people in the United States, very specific, not in the world, just in the United States, who are doing a trained buffalo act. And the buffaloes are the camels, but just shorter and a little fatter. And they go around in a circle. They go around.
One broke free.
One did break free. One just like pieced out into another ring. And then they're all like looking at him. And there's a lady riding on his back. And they're all looking at her. And she's just looking at them. And he's like, bring it back. And she's like, okay. And so they just ride the buffalo back into the middle of the ring. He didn't go anywhere. He was just like, I'm done going in a circle.
Yeah.
And then they put a little jump out, which scared Bubby. Because Bubby didn't see it get set out there.
I didn't.
And so he was worried the buffalo was going to trip on it.
Yeah.
But he jumped right over it. That thing was, what, 1.5 feet off the ground?
Yeah.
So the buffaloes go over the thing. Then one of the buffaloes leaves, and the other buffalo gets on the pedestal in the middle, and the pedestal is supposed to turn around. Rotate. And that's probably the same buffalo, because he pieced out again. He just got off the thing. And they're like, and then they got to make him get back on it and ride it around again.
I think they do it because of training.
Yeah, they do it because of training. Because he's got to learn to stay up there.
Right.
And then the buffaloes left. And it was the camels, but with buffaloes. So interesting enough, but not something I'm like, this was the best thing I ever saw. We're getting to some of the best thing I ever saw coming up here in a second. Then came the jugglers, okay? 3 rings of jugglers. All the way to the left, some dude with a ladder who was balancing crap on his chin. We paid
up the ladder, over the ladder, and down the ladder.
We paid almost no attention to him.
No.
Then directly in front of us was lady with like pyramids and boxes and
spinning cubes,
and she spun all that stuff. Yeah. And we paid 0 attention to that lady, because in the center ring was a young gentleman who was juggling balls. This was also all glow, swords, rings, all kinds of stuff. We were not paying attention to him either, because next to him was a tiny little girl, I'm going to guess 5 or 6 years old, whose entire contribution to the act, the best thing I saw in that act, was she had one hand up in the air, one hand on her hip, and she just bopped back and forth the entire time they were out there. And then halfway through, she switched sides of the ring and did it on the other side.
Right.
That was her. That's all she did. She didn't juggle. She did nothing.
She
just went out there, presented
her brother or
and
whatever.
then jiggled. Just shaked back and forth. And that went on.
We watched that.
Yeah, that's what we watched because I was like, she's got to do something, right? No.
Nope. That was her whole bit.
That was her bit. That's what she do. And she get paid good money for that. So good on her.
She gets to eat dinner.
She gets to have dinner. She was out there helping her brother. And their dad, we were going to assume it was their dad.
Probably.
Was
And
handing.
her mom
No.
was doing the cubes.
No, the guy handing out the stuff to the kid. So he
it could have been.
So he's handing out the rings to the kid. He hands out to the thing.
I thought it was Family Act.
Yeah. So at some point, that dude is just on his phone. Like he is like scrolling through Tinder on his phone and just tossing crap at the kid, not looking at the kid even a little bit, just scrolling through whatever's on his phone. Like zero care about this act, even a little bit.
Yeah. Even though we could all see him.
Bubby and I just beelined on that dude. We're just watching him.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to even? Nope. He doesn't care.
Scrolling on
Tinder, whatever he's
Facebook,
doing over there.
Yeah.
So that happened. Then they lit up I took a picture of all the mirror balls lit up because that was just cool.
Yeah.
Because they had 4 mirror balls. And when you light up 4 mirror balls at one time, it's a lot of little lights going
There
everywhere.
were a lot.
Then.
And it was full of smoke.
Full of smoke. Then we're getting near the end now. And they bring out the cannon. Okay. Bubby, Armanda, actually, would you describe the cannon to me?
It looked like I think the girl that was just bouncing her hip in the previous thing, I think they asked her to construct a cannon to launch Uncle Eddie out of. And
what material did she have to make this cannon with?
it looked like cardboard.
Right.
Cardboard and finger paint.
Yeah. If you ask a kid to draw a picture of a human cannonball cannon, motorized, this would be the blueprint for building the thing they built. Because it is square, it's chunky, it is 2 colors maybe, and it looks like it's being driven by a jazzy chair underneath. But it does have outriggers that go down to secure this thing. So we spend a lot of time bringing out the cannon, driving all the way up to the crash mat.
You know, in Muppets 3D, when the chef pushes out the cannon because he's going to shoot it at the penguins, and it makes that really cartoony sound.
Yes.
That's what I imagined the whole time it was driving out and like adjusting itself.
Yeah, so they drive it all the way forward to the crash pad, and then he starts backing it up. I'm like, you could just mark this on the floor. That dude could just hit that point. So he backs it all the way up. He backs it forward. He backs it left, backs right, up, forward, back. Finally gets parked. Then they mess with the mat for a while. Okay. Then finally he climbs on top of the cannon and the whole thing goes up. Now you would think cannon, right? It's got a lid on it in the front, but that lid goes down.
I thought the same thing.
Not up.
Yeah.
It goes down. So it's like part of the launch mechanism now where he's going to launch off the front of this thing too. And they spend a while dicking with that. They put the outriggers down. The whole thing gets set. He climbs in the cannon, and then some time goes by. And I'm watching the little dude next to him, and he's pulling out all these like little pins out of the side of it. I guess that they're like the safety pins that hold it. Safety pins. Let's hope it's not built with safety pins. But like the things that keep it from shooting off too early.
Paper clips.
And in the meantime, the clowns have brought this mat in behind the cannon. Okay, and they've like tucked it in behind the cannon. No one's allowed to walk over there while this is going off. And then we load the guy in the cannon. They're like, okay, be aware if you're sitting on that side of the circus, it's going to be real loud because it's a real cannon and it's going to explode. And we're like, okay. And Parker immediately, boom. Mm-hmm. The other time Parker put his fingers in his ear.
Yep.
Boom. We put it. So everybody starts putting their fingers in the ear, and we start counting it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. The guy shoots, and then the pyro goes off that they have at the back of that cannon. Pow, 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 pow. And he is already halfway to the crash mat by the time that damn pyro goes off. But it is loud.
It was loud.
I will give them that. And he flies, boom, and he hits the mat. And then there's a moment where we don't know where he is from where we're sitting. And then he gets off the mat. We still can't see him until he comes all the way around to the front. I'm like, I thought for a hot second he wasn't getting out of there. Like he had like snapped his neck.
Because he rolled off the other side.
Yeah, or just flipped off the front or whatever. Yeah. So that's the Cannon guy. He was pretty good though. That was a good act. Mm-hmm. Now we get Circus the Clown's back. Okay, and he is going to do plate spinning. That's his other act. So he goes and gets a kid, like a surly teenager from the audience, brings him out, and they're going to do plate spinning. Now me and Amanda watching a whole different show. Because at that point, one of the red balloons has come down from the ceiling.
I was watching it too.
And it's floating about 3 foot off the ground.
It was pink. It wasn't. It wasn't the same one. It wasn't the red ones.
I think it was an older balloon.
Right.
Yeah, from earlier that day.
Yeah. So it comes down, and then it's floating like 3 foot off the ground, and
Heading right to him.
And some ghost child who is haunting that building just kind of picks it up and slowly starts walking it. Now this is in ring 1 all the way to the left, and this act is going in ring 3 all the way to the right. And we watch as that balloon slowly drifts its way towards the plate spinners. Just Bobby is correct. Just beelining it across it. Ghost child just slowly walking that balloon as they're spinning
out of
plates.
The whole place that it could have gone.
Yeah, it's just headed straight to the clown and the kid spinning plates. So they're spinning plates. If you've seen a plate spinning act, it is exactly that. The kid's pretty good. He gets them on there and he gets them spinning.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job.
I assumed that the kid was a plant
I
because he
thought
broke
that.
a lot of plates.
A couple. Yeah.
Like,
the first one, the guy told him to break the plate.
Yeah.
Because I watched him switch off his mic and then lean over and whisper to the
I
kid.
saw that. Yeah.
So that one he broke, but the other one he did not.
Yeah.
So, but we're just watching the balloon is all we're doing. Like this whole act is going on. He gets a ladder out because one of the sticks is too high and he's got to climb up that. We're just watching this balloon. And finally it makes its way over, just almost at the finale of his act. It makes it over there and the guy just walks over there, grabs the balloon, spins it real quick, and then moves on to the next thing. And he broke the string and it kind of just floated up at that point. But that was probably the best part of the circus for me, was watching the ghost child bring the balloon over.
That was funny.
They get that whole act done. Ding, 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 ding. That was a pretty good act. He made up for the air guitar one at the beginning. During part of the show, I skipped over this, but I just remembered it. They said, we're going to play a video, and I want all you kids to sing along. And there's a dude in a shark costume. And
Wasn't it when...
It was right after intermission.
Right after intermission,
They gave away the bikes.
Oh, I forgot about the bikes. So if you bought a coloring book, you could win a bike. They had one girl's bike and one boy's bike. And the 2 kids that won were both girls. So I immediately saw them tussling over that girl's bike, and nobody wanted that boy's bike. But also, they were tiny bikes. They were not very big bikes. And then, so they got the kids down there. They took their picture with all the Shriner clowns because they won the bikes. And then they wheeled them bikes away. I'm not sure if those kids got those bikes or not. But after that, they got the dude in a shark costume, and we're going to sing Baby Shark. And all the kids are going to get up and they're going to sing along. Parker immediately, fingers in the air, coat over his head. He wants zero part of Baby Shark.
Yeah.
So
when he was little, he would sing it and liked it, but then
It's just
the
loud
older
and
he got-
overwhelming.
yeah.
I was pretty close to doing the same thing a couple of times. I was like, this is too much.
I was just fixated on the 2 kids in the video, to be honest with you.
I know,
They
I
looked
was
like they
too.
were being held hostage.
They did. It was really weird.
Get out there and do the Baby Shark
Sing
song.
this or else.
Just sing it, I dare you. So now we're at the end of the circus. We do another... we could do another pitch to sell some more glow crap. Yeah. Now it's only half price if you buy the glow crap right now, because we're going to do the motorcycles in the wheel of not death, or no, the ball of not death. I don't know what it's called because
Globe of Steel.
Oh, wheel, yeah.
Globe. Globe of Steel. The globe of putting 3 motorcycles in there and seeing what happens. So we're getting to that. But before that, we're going to do a whole dance number. We got to try to sell some more glow crap. And then they bring out the motorcycle people. And they're up on the stage. So they're not in one of the 3 rings. They're all the way over to the left-hand side on the stage. But we got a clear view of them. We're good to go. Yeah. And they load up one person, and that one person goes around. Boom, 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 boom. Then they load up 2 people. And those 2 people, they go up and down and left and right and circle and circle and circle and circle. And I look over at Amanda and I go, there is no way that they have not just run into each other at some point in time. Just full-on crashed into each other. Because you can't practice that without hitting somebody. I'll guarantee it. So then they're going to put all 3 of them in there. And we're like, ooh, 3 of them. So they put all 3 of them in. And 2 of them are ready to go, and 1 of them is not ready to go. And so the 2 go, vroom, vroom, and they kind of go forward and backwards, like, we're ready to go. 3 just sits there. And so they look over at 2, and they go, vroom, vroom, and 3's just sitting there. And then 3 goes, oh, vroom, vroom. Okay, I'm ready too. And then off they go in a big circle, round and round, up and down. And they turn all the lights off except for the black light. And these guys are glowing like there is no tomorrow.
I think they have lights.
Maybe they had lights on their suits too. Yeah. But it's bright. They are bright as hell in this wheel as they go round and round, up, down, through, round, blah, 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 blah. Pretty cool. Like, I'm going to admit it.
Yeah.
Like, they saved the best for last, for sure.
Yeah.
And then they load them all out and they go, ladies and gentlemen, the people riding in the big steel ball. I don't remember what they called it. And then they go, and also another world record.
Not world record, but
I don't know. Some sort of record, sort of achievement.
Like the only version of this show, you can only see this in our circus,
right?
Kind of thing. I don't remember exactly what the
because
word
it's
was.
3 women, all female cast of riding the spinny ball of death or whatever we're calling that thing,
right?
And everybody cheers. Woo!
They pull their helmets off.
They pull their helmets.
Long hair.
Then they should have just played the song because then we proceed to, for the next minute or so, whip their hair back and forth.
Right.
Just all over the place. And as they're revving the motorcycle, boom, 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 and whipping their hair all around. Okay, everyone applauds. It was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. And then the dude comes out to kind of wrap up the circus. Oh, so then he goes, hey, kids, y'all want to earn some free snow cones and
cotton
candy? Let me tell you how you can do it. And kids are like, free cotton candy? I'm in. All you got to do is go down the concession stand after the show and pick up a trash bag. And then come back into the Shrine Mosque and pick up all the trash. And if you do that, we'll give you a snow cone and some cotton candy. And as me and Amanda are walking out, there are already kids lined up with their trash bags.
Are there really?
Yeah, 100%. We also saw the snow cones that they were going to be handing out, and they were half-size snow cones. They were not full-size snow cones. So they're jipping them kids on the snow cones for cleaning the place up. Just
what was left over, they didn't sell starting at the beginning.
I don't know. That had to have melted, right? I mean, snow cones cost a penny, right? And so does cotton candy.
7 cents.
Yeah, whatever. So we're like, we're good, thanks. And we start heading out. Me and Amanda hit the bottom of the stairs, make a left. Bubby says, nope, and just heads right. Like, just ditches us right there in the middle of the circus.
Did not see where you guys went.
So off we went out into the rain and the cold. Me and Amanda parted ways, and we all went our separate ways. All right, where you guys put, how you rating your circus experience? Scale of 1 to 10. Where are you putting it?
I'm sad I gave them my money.
Okay, Amanda's going low on her score. Bubby?
Since I've been to that circus before, I'm going to say it's 5.
Ooh, Bubby's being harsh to the circus.
Compared to the first time I went to see it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a little better the first time.
All right.
They actually had, I think, official clowns doing an act. And they had the
collegiate clowns.
The dog dressed as the elephant. That was really cool.
Yeah, the dog as the elephant is pretty high bar there.
So it was, yeah.
I'm going higher than both of you. I had a good time. Got to hang out with my friends. Saw the circus.
Well,
I just feel like I have to punish them for.
All right, that's fair.
For the animals.
For the animals, and that's fair.
The people part is fine, but you don't need animals.
You don't really. That's the thing. Barnum Bailey got rid of all their animals.
I'll pay the same amount of money to ride that little
tiny train.
Yeah, or
pulled by a golf cart.
Or some guy that calls himself Pony, or like
just a rickshaw with a homeless dude dragging you around in the center ring. Sure. So you know what? I'd probably pay money to do that. I'll be honest with you.
Right?
Make it interesting. Hey, you know what you need? Those dudes in the Chinese dragon outfit. Get them to pull one of them wagons around and then just let the kids ride in that. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, the elephants did get some cotton candy.
The elephants did. I don't know if that's good or bad, Bubby. I'm going to be real honest with you. They did feed the elephants some cotton candy as a treat. And I'm like, you could do better for a treat.
I'd probably pay $10 to dunk the clown Hulk Hogan in like a dunk tank.
Oh, yeah.
I would have done that. That's a good way to make money.
Oh, I forgot to bring up the best part of the whole circus. When they were shooting all them arrows, they had these automatic nets that rose up out of the floor to stop the arrows from shooting all the people in the front row. And then at the end, they just went all back down on their own. Mm-hmm. That was probably the best part for me. I was like, that's really cool. I don't know where you got those things, but I'm kind of interested.
Well, they were like a huge poster frame
that
they set, and then they raised up and lowered.
But they all went at the same time. That was cool.
It was pretty cool.
I'm going to give the circus a 7. I had a good time. They gypped me on the corn dog, but other than that, I had a pretty good time. Any emails this week, Amanda? No.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Oh, we got an email. I am personally very excited about this.
I'm always nervous.
And then Bubby's got some stuff he wants to talk about here real quick as well. Bubby,
fly, Eagles, fly!
There we go. That's right. That's from our show sponsor. This is her final week of being a show sponsor. We are going to have to decline that.
What is happening?
That was my wife trying to video chat into the podcast. But unfortunately, I'm in the middle of a podcast, and we'll hopefully get to talk to her before she gets on her next flight. She's flying back home today. So Fly Eagles Fly, thanks to Caroline for sponsoring the podcast. She got her ad read for 4 weeks in a row for just $20. If you'd like to torture Bubby or any other member of the podcast, I know Scott's thinking about signing you up for something here too, Bubby. So check us out on Patreon for that. Amanda's looking up the email that we got. I'll go ahead and hit some of this other stuff. If you did enjoy the podcast, check us out on our website. It's allfishandchips.com, or on our Facebook group or Facebook group. Wow, I had a little stroke there. It's All Fish and Chips at Facebook. That's where we post all the pictures and stuff that we're talking about from the circus. Here's my... All right.
Are you looking at your list? Is that what you're looking at?
I'm looking at this.
So the top thing is the first thing, and then the bottom thing came second.
It was... Okay, so this is from friend of the podcast, Carol. She asked, what happened to the haberdashery callback? And actually, Ryan texted me it later on, and then I forgot to bring it back up. It is haberdasher. When I was struggling to find the word for a person who makes hats, it is a haberdasher, but Carol is also correct. It could be a milliner as well.
Mm-hmm. And they can also be called hatters. But
hatters.
Yeah. That's probably a more modern term, I would
right,
guess.
like the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
But Carol is correct. A hashtag old age.
Mm-hmm.
That was for me. But I should have known that word. Like, that's a word I know.
Yeah.
But, man, could not find it. And Alzheimer's is a bitch. So check us out on YouTube, where the video will be posted every week. And the video is, of course, just a podcast with a picture over it. So don't get too excited. You can check us out on Patreon if you'd like to be a friend of the podcast, just like Carol and Anthony and Ed and Jordan and KK and Sarah. Those are all the friends of the podcast. They pay $3 a month. Not a lot of money, but it does help defray the cost of the podcast. And we will shout you out if you want to be one on the podcast. Or if you'd like to sponsor it, like we said before, it's $20 for the month. And Bubby or someone on the podcast will read your ad read, as long as this is not too offensive. A little bit offensive, fine. Too offensive, no, thank you, please.
Just painful.
Say it one more time, Bubby. Give her extra money's worth here. Say it. Come on.
Fly.
There you go. You got a special extra one there at the end. All right, folks. My name's Thor.
Bubby.
Bye.
Bye. And remember, folks, no matter what you got going on in your life, it's all fish and chips. Pet that dog, Bubby. Quit taunting it.
You gotta let it sniff you first.
That dog, you've been here at my house way too many times for that dog to be concerned about you. I lost count again. All right, we'll see you later, kids.